Hello and welcome back to the review realm, and today we're going to be discussing Squid Game Season 2, which is premiering December 26th of this year, and Netflix has already released a teaser, a trailer, and also meet the cast, so I thought we could go over some of it to see if potentially Season 2 could be just as good as Season 1, so let's get into it. Obviously, Season 1 of Squid Games was super popular. It's the top most viewed on Netflix for a non-English TV show. Overall, globally, it did amazing in the ratings and in the views, and it was super popular when it came out. However, I'm not so sure that Season 2 is going to do as well as Season 1, just because the creator, who is also the director of Squid Games, it took him 8 or 7 years, I can't remember off the top of my head, to come up with the original Season 1 Squid Game. And it was only supposed to be one season, but after the success, he is coming back for Season 2. And I'm just a little nervous that Netflix has really been pressuring him to do a Season 2 just because it was such a hit. And obviously, if it's a hit, you want to continue to feed off that audience and make the dollar bills. Okay, so this is Squid Game Season 2 trailer.
네가 그 안에서 총질을 하든 밖에서 야바이 짓을 하든 달라지는 건 없어.
So the person we just saw there was the cop from Season 1, and it sort of left off that you weren't sure if he was alive or dead, but obviously since we see him, he's alive, which I'm super happy about because he was one of my favorite characters in Season 1, so I'm really glad he's back, and I'm curious how his character is going to be involved in this season.
456번, 나한테 뭘 원하지?
다시 게임을 하게 해줘.
So, player 456, who was the main guy in Season 1, is coming back for Season 2, and at the end of Season 1, he did win the game and he received all that money, and now he's going back into the game to try and stop the game, basically. And I think that's super interesting because I feel like once the other players find out that he was already in the game, there could be some increased competition, and they could obviously want him gone just because he sort of knows things that other people don't. So I think that's going to create an interesting dynamic, especially going back in the game when it puts a really big target on him, not just because the VIPs and the people up top possibly want him dead, but also the other players do.
저희는 여러분을 해치려는 게 아닙니다. 여러분들에게 기회를 드리는 겁니다.
So it looks like red light, green light is going to be the first game, or at least one of the first games back for Season 2, which is super interesting. That was sort of like a big staple for the first season of Squid Games. And I do believe that they are going to change some of the games, but I'm curious if there's any other games that are going to be the same from Season 1. And this guy who's on the screen right now, he was a rapper, he's a retired rapper, and now he lost all his money, so that is why he's in the game. And it looks like he's gonna sort of be like the troublemaker, the bad guy who wants to basically kill everyone so they're out of his way. So I think that's gonna be an interesting dynamic, and I could definitely see him being one of the people to be killed later in this season.
엄마, 급한만 더 하면 다 갖고도 남아.
So this is a mother and son duo, which I think is super interesting because if you saw Squid Game The Challenge, which was like the reality TV show of Squid Games that was on Netflix, they also had a mother and son pairing. So I'm curious if this is just a coincidence or if if it was like they took ideas from The Challenge or if it was vice versa. But this is going to create a super interesting dynamic with the characters just because obviously one person can only win the game. They may stop the game before, but it's possible that they could betray each other, like either the son betrays the mother or the mother betrays the son. So I think that is going to create possibly some drama, and other people could definitely feel threatened because they have a closer connection and maybe are loyal to each other more than compared to other people.
여길 왜 다시 들어왔냐? 난 그 게임을 멈추려는 거야. 아직도.
And so what we heard from the creator and director, he said that he tried to put more people's backstories into season 2 just to have like a more storyline and to get to know most of the characters, just because a lot of people died from season 1 and there's less characters who are from season 1 going into season 2. And I think it's going to be interesting to see people's motives, especially of why they're in the game, and if that is going to create some internal conflict, especially since player 456 is already in the game and other people are. And as you can tell already from some of that images, it looks like there is going to be a lot of infighting. So I'm curious how that is going to change the dynamic of the game.
모르겠나. 세상이 바뀌지 않는 한 게임은 끝나지 않아. 이 게임을 만든 놈들.
So the creator did come out and say that we are going to learn more about the creators of the game and the VIPs, which I think could definitely hurt season 2, just because when you have these figures who you don't really know a lot about, it allows the audience to imagine them and sort of make them more scary and creepier. And then once you know more about them, it's sort of like, oh, that's it. So I think it does take away a little bit of the audience. For example, in Avatar: The Last Airbender, we don't see the Emperor's face until the last season, which is season 3. So you have those first 2 seasons where you don't see his face, and it really builds that anticipation. So I think if they reveal too much about the VIPs and the creators, it could definitely take a little bit away from season 2. But I am definitely curious to see what they are going to do with them.
그놈들과 싸워야 합니다. 게임에 돌아온 걸 환영하네.
So that was Squid Game Season 2 trailer. Let me know what you thought about it down in the comment section below, and if you are going to watch Season 2. I loved the first season of Squid Games. It got me into Korean television, which I am now obsessed with. But I am a little nervous about this season. Let me know if you are too, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good day. Bye!